Nitro. Trying to stop my praise. You can get it too. Devil in my way.
Welcome back to the Dr. Nahshon Nicks Show, where our mission is to empower people one word at a time. I'm so excited about today's guest, so I need you to stay tapped in, tuned in, and leaned in to the Dr. Nahshon Nicks Show. Please help me show some love to our special guest, Miss Yara Banks. Welcome.
Thank you, Nahshon. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Humbled and excited to be here with you today.
I'm excited to have you with us. And just a quick overview. Can you tell our listening and viewing audience a little bit about your business?
Yeah, so my business is called BNX Financial Solutions, but our street name is BNX Business Advisors. We are a consultancy firm that does business and HR consulting. We specialize in leadership development, professional development, and training.
Awesome. I love that. I guess that's what people call a elevator pitch.
Yeah.
You have yours perfected.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been in Jacksonville since 2002. I'm married. I have 6 lovely children. I am a child of the Most High God. I'm a karate athlete.
Okay.
Karate artist. I love participating in my community, giving back, really tapping into the folks that make up the ecosystem which is our community plus our economic development.
Awesome. And you said you've been in Jacksonville since 2002.
That's correct.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from the Middle East. I'm from the Midwest. No, the Midwest.
The middle.
Yeah, the middle of the middle, right?
Yes. And what does that look like when people say I'm Midwest?
I say it like that because I literally lived in Missouri, Illinois, Nebraska, and Kansas. So when you talk about the Midwest, that's smack dab in the Midwest.
Wow. Well, you're not in Kansas anymore.
Not anymore.
Yes. And you did mention that you're married, 6 children. Mm-hmm. And how do you have time for business? Like, how is that even possible?
So it's about building a harmony, not a balance between your work and your life.
Oh, look at this.
So the kids.
Hold on a second. Say that one more time.
And harmony, a harmony, not a balance. There's no such thing as a balance when it comes to work life. It's a harmony. Ebb and flow makes the harmony. Yes. So what I have to understand is what are my priorities, right? Mm-hmm. And then line my priorities. And time management is going to be key. The buy-in of the vision of why I'm doing what I'm doing has to be in alignment and understood by the entire family. So my husband understands the priorities and what the vision is. My kids understand the priority and what the visions are. And so I have time for each of those cut out within the day, and I do my best to meet that. And sometimes that means I don't go to bed till late, but it definitely means I get up very early in the morning because that's when I get my me time. I got to have my me time and my God time before I start my day. And so once I have that and my steps are lined, then everything else is just gravy from there.
All right. So all I see is this Proverbs 31 woman in front of me. Has it always been like this, or like were you like reared like this? Your parents groomed you for this. Your father was a successful businessman. Tell me more about the backstory. Like how do you get this refined individual that's performing now?
Lots, but God, number one.
Hallelujah.
But God, but just learning from mistakes. If I'm being honest, I didn't have a lot of guidance growing up. My father's passed. It's only been about 4 years. Thank you. About 4 years. And so I grew up in a single parent home because my dad had remarried and went to a second marriage. But it was about learning. Listen, if you put your hand on a hot stove and you show me the scar and you say, if you put your hand there, you're going to get burnt, I believe you. I don't have to do it too. Okay. So for me, a lot of it was watching people around me and saying, I want that, but I don't want that. Mm-hmm. They did this and they got that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So that was a lot of it. But then a lot of it was just making my own mistakes. Just making my own mistakes in life, which mistakes turn to lessons, right? You lose or you learn. And I learned. So that's where that came from. No, because I didn't grow up in a 2-parent home. I didn't have that guidance, right? So now that I have a 2-parent home, I made a 2-parent home. So then it's learning to live within those boundaries of what that looks like. Not having one thing overtake the next. Understanding that everything needs your love, care, and assistance, and then figuring out where the pieces fit, and then having the best partner in the whole world.
Awesome.
Who is the yin to my yang, right? Who balances me out, and who can pick up if I'm not there. If I got to get on a plane and go somewhere, he got the kid.
Mhm.
He got the kids. He got the kids for homeschool. He got the kids for whatever needs to be done. They need a field trip out. He need to clean. He need to cook. He need to sew. Whatever he got to do, he can do it. So he's truly my equal. And so that helps a lot. Yeah, he's my equal in the house, but he's also my equal when it comes to our worship and our what's the word I'm looking for? Where we are in terms of our relationship with God. So
Awesome. And I appreciate you sharing that with me. So when it comes to business advisors, and you broke down this your elevator pitch about what all you do, right? So did that come from running a business, starting a business, or did you like matriculate in a career where you started off entry level, mastered that?
So I've been blessed in my career to always have higher level jobs. I never really went into an entry level job. So entry level, I had entry level while I was in college, but after that, I never did.
Okay.
So let me give you a backstory. So when I was in college, about 19, 20 years old, imagine that, I worked at a call center. Okay. And in that call center, I worked at night shift. And this was the era, I'm just going to keep it real with you because that's how we are. We're transparent, right? It was the era when we had Ricky Lake and Jerry Springer and The Real World and all of that, right? So reality TV. But reality TV was at that job. I could not wait to get a best job in the world. Because if nobody called, you could do your homework and get paid, right? I'm in college. But man, you got there and ate popcorn. Folks was fighting. Folks was cussing. People was getting fired. People were getting arrested. People was doing all kind of things they shouldn't be doing at work. I couldn't wait to get there. That was like the thing, the best job ever, right? And so that's how I was for about 6-7 months. It was great. And then I'm just going to be honest. I worked till 5 a.m. And if that phone rang at 4:59, you better answer or you're in trouble.
Okay.
So my biological clock said I needed to go to the restroom every day around 4:53, 54, right? So that I wasn't at my desk when the phone rang. Okay. So every day I used to go hide out in the bathroom to ride the clock out. I'm just being honest, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, people don't ride the clock out anymore.
Yes. Okay, I rolled the clock out, right? So went to the bathroom and this lady was in a stall talking. And she started talking kind of loud. And I was like, ooh, this is about to be good. I'm ear hustling. I'm just being honest. Okay. And then she started crying. I was like, ooh, it's about to be real good. I don't know what's about to happen. It's about to be good. And then she went to the point of where she couldn't hardly breathe. Like it was like an asthma attack kind of sound, that noise. So now I'm beating on the door and I'm like, come out. You okay? You okay? She's trying to talk, but she can't. Fast forward a month before we lost a coworker in that bathroom. She had a heart.
When you say lost,
I'm going to tell you, she had a heart attack, she bumped her head and got a brain bleed, and she literally died in that stall. So at this point, I'm getting scared now. It's not funny anymore. It's not entertainment. Like, lady, come out. Let me see if I can help you. And so she finally opens the door. And when she opens the door, it's just this shell of a woman standing there. Now, mind you, I'm 19, 20. This is a grown woman. I don't know her name, but I've seen her on the floor before. But she's just the shell. And I'm trying to like, what's going on? What's wrong? She's trying to talk. And all she's saying to me is, I can't do this anymore, but I got kids. I have to feed them. But I can't keep coming here, but I got these kids to feed. She said, the only thing I can think of to do is to go to sleep and not wake up. I looked over and she got a handful of pills. In that moment, I was 100% convicted. Never did anything to nobody, never said nothing to nobody, but I was getting entertainment from what I thought was drama, but really it was trauma. Now, at 19, 20 years old, there's nothing I can do about that at this point. But I knew from then on, the rest of my life, whatever role I was in, whether it was my charge or not, I was going to make sure that nobody had to work in an environment where they had to make those type of choices. And so for the last 30 years, I don't care what job I had, what title, if stuff is going on in the workplace, if there's a way that I can influence a change or dynamics, if there's a way that I can inspire the culture, I've done that. If I need to tell on somebody, I'm telling. Whatever it takes, because work is survival for a lot of people. And that's my why.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And hopefully that continues to convict those who are in leadership and management to understand that you don't know what crossroads people may be at, but your role is very vital to not just the company that you all represent, but to the survival of that family as well. So thank you for that. I see that you got some literature here. What is this about?
The story I just told you started me to write this book called Brown Door Secret.
Mm.
And Brown Door Secret says leadership tips that your boss doesn't want you to know. Sometimes you'll be in a relationship with a boss at work, and you'll look to that person for mentorship and for guidance. And that person won't give you the information. They won't give you the information because they don't believe in you. They won't give it to you because they don't have it themselves. They don't give it to you because they don't want you to look better than they are. Insecurity, a lot of reasons. But what this book is kind of a guide for people in the workforce that tells you all these different situations that come up and how to handle them professionally. And then when you've done all you can, how to exit professionally. Not just get mad one day, cuss everybody out and quit. It's not that. It's what can I do to try to navigate in this environment where I don't seem to be welcomed or I don't seem to be valued? How can I handle this professionally? And then when I've done everything that I know to do, how can I exit this particular opportunity if that's what I need to do? So that's what this book is about.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Black History Month. And hopefully we're able to get this out while it's still Black History Month, because I do believe that you illuminate Black excellence, and not just in business, but in leadership. And one of the things I do think that the Black community in general
Mm-hmm.
needs to work on is closure, because I like the term exits. All relationships may not be permanent, but they can have a permanent impact.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've learned is that sometimes you can see the same people throughout life.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be at the grocery store, it may be in the emergency room,
Mm-hmm.
it may be law enforcement, whatever that case may be. But how do you close a relationship without it making a negative permanent impact?
Absolutely.
And being able to release and let go, whatever that grieving process may be like.
Mm-hmm.
For me, when I worked in ministry as a senior pastor, if a member told me that they were leaving, how can I help them?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that I could have done better? As an employer,
Mm-hmm.
listen, we appreciate you doing this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you need from me as you go to your new place of employment?
Right.
Or you're starting a business. That is
Mhm.
phenomenal. Is there
Mhm.
anything that I can do to help?
Absolutely.
But these are learned behaviors. That's not necessarily how I started. So I
Mhm.
think your book,
Mm-hmm.
Brown Door Secrets, are very essential and needed. And then at the same time, I was listening to how you were saying that sometimes folks may not have those gems or jewels to
Mhm.
give you.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore they can't give you something that they
Mhm.
don't have. And sometimes I do think that trust within the Black community is something that can be hard earned.
Mm-hmm.
It can be hard earned, meaning that you're giving them high value information, but because of who the source was, not
Mhm.
necessarily the message, but who the
Mhm.
messenger was, they may not see the same value
Right.
in what you're giving or presenting them because they may not appreciate the package that's bringing it.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah. And who's that book for?
So this is for people who are in currently working for someone else.
Mhm.
They're currently working for someone and they're struggling to navigate the environment.
Mhm.
Roadblocks, gatekeepers, just a lack of awareness. Maybe you don't have that mentor. How do you find one? Maybe you don't know what the next step in your career should be like. How do you find that out? Maybe your boss is blocking you. How do you go around and do skip level? It's all about those kind of things and how do you do it professionally? Because I've had the brown door discussion where listen, everything that glitters isn't gold, and let's go talk about it behind this door where we ain't got no witnesses. I've had those conversations, but I don't want people to have to do that. I don't want to have to get to that level, right? So I want to give you a guide so that you can say, okay, this came up or this came up. What do I do about it? How do I go to the next level? I want to grow myself professionally. How do I invest in myself for professional development? How do I find these opportunities that maybe my boss isn't bringing to me, but I know they exist in the company? How do I find them?
That is phenomenal. One of my good friends and brothers, he's a criminal attorney. And he said, Nicks, I got to give it to you. You're the only person I know that can talk to white folks and they actually listen to you. And I'm saying to myself, I talk to everybody.
Mhm.
He's like, no, but they listen to you. I don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, how do you do that? I said, well, the same way I'm talking to you, It's the same way I talk to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's just being authentic with who I am and not trying to be somebody that I'm not.
Right.
And I think working on that authentic self through mentors and guidance and having I don't want to say tricks, but tips and techniques,
resources and tools
to be able to help them get to the next level. In the state of Florida, it's a right to work state. Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book called Guide to Invest, and he talked about cash flow quadrant, and he broke it down to EBSI: employed, self-employed, business owner, investor. And for employees, if you are in the state of Florida, unless you're in the military or union, you're pretty much self-employed because it's right to work state. So I try to look at it as in this. If I had a job, this job is just helping me build my book of business. And that was one way to where I was able to take transferable relationships as well as resources and tools to my next place of employment, because I had a book of business to take with me. I wasn't flying blind per se.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what else do we have?
My other book here is called The Executive Blind Spot. How misalignment with HR will cost your bottom line. This is for my C-suite and my owner. Okay. What happens is we neglect our biggest asset. People are our biggest asset. So we're going to get a Maserati, right? We're going to park it on the street. We're not going to cover it. We're not going to turn the engine over. We're not going to get an oil change. We're not going to wash it. Is that probably going to happen? Probably not. That's our biggest asset, right? But within an organization, our people are our biggest asset. We're not turning them over. We're not washing them. We're not covering them. We're not preparing them for whatever's next. We just get them there, send them a paycheck every 2 weeks, and that's that. What we have to do is nurture them. Everybody innately wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Paychecks are great. Number 5, 6, 7, 8 on the list of what's important to me as an employee. Not number 1. How can I show them they're part of my vision? How can I prepare a way for them to continue to grow, add value to the organization, loyal to the organization, want to give me their best every single time? I have to do that by engaging them as a workforce, using my human resources. I'm not talking about the department, although the department helps. I'm talking about the actual human resources. How if they're not aligned with my vision, they're going left and I'm going right. Or I got to fight an uphill battle the whole time because we're bumping heads. I need them to know where I'm going, need to know why I'm going there, and they need to know how does that affect them. If I can get them to know those things, they're going to be on my page. Now, understanding and agreement are not the same thing. Okay? They're not the same. I don't need you to agree. I need you to understand where we're going. This is why I think we're going there. This is where we're headed, and let's go. And so if we can get that going, if we can learn to have difficult conversations, if we can learn how to set out our vision in front of the people, if we can learn how to pour into them, nurture their need to want to do better, to want to contribute more, to grow as human beings, professional development. We can do those things. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
What does that mean?
Money, 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 money.
Okay.
That's what that means.
So hold on. Did you say touching or touching?
Touching.
Touching.
Touching. Touching.
I
Money,
like
money,
that.
money, money, money. Because that's the thing, right? We want to improve our profit margin. We want to protect our profit. Protect our profit by protecting our productivity. That means our people, right? Our people and our processes equal our profit.
Say that again.
Our people and our processes equal our profit. So if we don't protect our people and we have poor processes, our profit's going to suffer.
Because like I said, the type of information that you're laying out and putting down, it may take a workshop, a conference, a seminar. And sometimes when you have a full work schedule, typically when you look at workshop seminars, it's typically for, like you said, owners or upper management, not necessarily employees and mid-management. But it seemed like with your 2 books, you're able to close the gap. Regardless of where you're at within the company's org chart, there's some information for you that you can always go back to as a reference or
Absolutely. I believe everybody's a leader, right? Different types of leaders, but I believe everybody's a leader. And so I want those who are ready to lead to come on up, and those who are already leader to meet them where they're at. That's what I need. And so at the end of the day, so I want to be able to speak to the C-suite because what they care about is their bottom line, their balance sheet, their profit and loss. And then I want to speak to the people who actually have to do the work. Understand where your supervisor is coming from. Understand why they might not want to be able to help you or might not be able to help you. And how do you still navigate that?
Yeah, and one of the challenges with the city of Jacksonville that I've identified, and when it comes to major corporations, they typically transplant upper management, middle management from other cities and states to bring to Duval or Jacksonville to fill those areas of employment. But then they typically hire folks from Jacksonville for the entry-level positions. And that's no way to sustain an economy, because if that person is not necessarily bought into Duval or bought into Jacksonville, as soon as their tenure is up with that organization, those resources, that knowledge and that investment goes right back with that individual who migrated for that particular duty station, for lack of a better word. So
we've got to do better. We've got to do better on professional development, workforce development, upskilling people to be able to increase their earning potential. I think we get them to a certain level, and then those who want more than that tend to leave the community, right? So we have to find a way to make sure that those leadership skills are in place here, so that when those companies do come in with those higher paying jobs, that we're right here ready to take them on. And I think that there is a skill gap between just like maybe those who are on the verge of being middle management or supervisor level and those above that. There's a skill gap there. So if we can get that gap closed through leadership development training, through professional development training, through succession planning, through workshops. I'm not talking about a one-time training. I'm talking about like cohort level systemic training that starts maybe before they ever get promoted into middle management, right? So like start training them up from the time they start in that organization so that they can continue that growth pattern. If you can do that, then you got it good. Like you really do. You have your core people, and now you just keep that train going. Because what happens is they stop here or they stop here. Right here, it just goes in and out. The return is the turnover is large. Retention is very small. But if you can get people from the time they're walking the door to know what their next steps are on this ladder, on the rung, and how to get there, they're going to go there. Most people will go there.
All right. So time is somewhat moving fast on us. This won't be your last time on the Dr. Nahshon Nicks Show. But I want to make sure that I give you an opportunity to maybe answer questions that I may not have asked. But with your business and with your firm, can you give a testimonial of one of your clients that was maybe dealing with one of those challenges with high turnover, or trying to be able to move the needle from just enough or barely enough to profitability, or they were able to scale properly? If you could share one testimonial.
Sure. So one of them, now this was a $1.8 billion revenue company. So it's a global company.
1.8
billion. Yes.
With a B.
Company. Yeah, with a B.
Oh, okay.
But they had problems with a department that was local. Okay. It was just the department that had a problem. Okay. And so what we did was they called me in to look at their processes. They said, we have this huge bottleneck. Can you look at our processes and figure out what's wrong? So because we do both business and human resources, we were able to identify the problem is not your process, this is your people. And because we do both sides, we didn't have to get another firm in. We already do that, right? So then we started to look at the people. Did you have the right leadership in place? Do they have KPIs, key performance indicators? Do they have goals? Are they part of anything? These people were working at a place where they can come in and set their own hours and set their own goals if they wanted to have one. They can work on any part of the business they wanted to. They weren't assigned to anything. So therefore, they were working on this overtime, had like an 8-week backlog. But they were doing whatever they want to do, and they were going home, and then they would work at home, log in at home and work a little bit. So the leadership was the problem. The leadership didn't want no problem, so he let folks do whatever he wanted them to do. So we had to come in. I had to coach the leader as much as I could, and when I couldn't coach him anymore, he had to go, and we had to replace the leadership. We had to give people the trust that we understand. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So I need you to tell me, how many widgets can you build in this amount of time? What's the number? Okay, here's a number. Now, I told y'all from Kansas, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what I did was I came into that organization. I literally built a yellow brick road around that whole entire department.
Hilarious.
And so let's get to Emerald City, y'all. Let's follow the brick road. What's your goal for this month? Okay. Flip over the little chalkboard. This is your reward if we meet this. Okay, what's your goal? What's your reward? Goal, reward. And then we knew the number we had in our head. They surpassed that number.
Whoa.
Okay. We didn't tell them we had a number. So now when we set your number at this for every month, you can't complain because you're way over here. Right? So we gave them a part of that process. Change the culture by giving them ownership over processes. Change the process by saying, the culture by saying, this is your leader who's going to help guide you and grow you through this department. Right? That's the kind of stuff that we do. Transformational stuff. So it's not just leadership development training, but we will go into an organization and transform the culture. That is like the quickest little blurb I can give you. I have lots more stories, but that's the quickest one I can give you in this moment.
You got me feeling like Cuba Gooding Jr. in a movie, Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Show me the money. All right, that's enough. So
Okay.
How do people find you?
So they can find me at www.bnxba.com. We're in all the social media outlets. Our local telephone number is 904-345-0070. Now, we work from sea to shining sea. So we have clients from Maine to Arizona. So geographical location is not a deterrent to the work that we do. So again, you can find us at www.bnxba.com. And we're headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, with the second location in San Antonio, Texas.
All right. Now, I did hear you mention local number.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have a national footprint. You can
Absolutely.
work within the nation.
Absolutely.
U.S. territories.
I've never done it, but I'm not opposed to it.
Okay. Okay. Because I need you to understand, right? I call it the 3 C's: confidence, competence, and capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to have all 3, and the biggest one being the middle one, which is the competencies.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak for every business owner out there. When I'm looking for advice, I'm not necessarily looking for a theory, and I'm sure enough not looking for an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I need me a subject matter expert that can assist me with the problem solving process. And that's what I've been able to glean from you. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know, because the average audience for those who watch the Dr. Nahshon Nicks Show are typically between the ages of 35 and 55, mm-hmm. Which means they could be in the military, about to get ready to retire within mm-hmm. the next couple of years, and they're working on that what's next, mm-hmm. or they got enough lived experience mm-hmm. plus education, and now they're trying to test the market with entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Do you work with nonprofits?
I absolutely do. I've founded 2 award-winning nonprofits myself, and helped 17 other nonprofits start. Mm-hmm. So yes, I do. I also work with people who are starting their own just regular business, regular LLCs as well.
All right, and then I have a large reach with mm-hmm. like 30 churches here in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. By any means, do you happen to work with churches as well, or absolutely. Religious organizations?
Absolutely, because I think that their setup is much like that of a nonprofit, but also it's where my heart is. I'm a Bible believer myself, so to be able to pour into the kingdom, be able to seed into the kingdom, that's a huge blessing. Absolutely.
Yes. So, and for that, what is your capacity pertaining to new clients? Like I said, is it a set amount per month, or is it a set amount per quarter, or do you have open availability to where they can call that number, go to the website, and you're able to make time for those organizations?
So yes. So it just depends on what their needs are. Some people just need, like, can you help me write a business plan? Some people might just say, can you file my 501c3 papers? Other people might say, can you come and do strategic planning training for my whole board? So it just depends on what they need. Is it a one-time deal? Is it an ongoing deal? It would just depend. So they would have to call the 904-345-0070 number so that we can see what their needs are, have that initial exploratory conversation, and then figure out what their needs are to figure out how we fit them in.
And then give them the website one more time.
It is www.B as in boy, N as in Nancy, X as in X-ray, business advisors, bnxba.com.
Yes, I've only used this word to describe one other person besides you right now, and I just learned this at a conference in Dallas, Texas, and with Mosaics. Shout out to Mosaics conference. The term is polymath. Polymath is someone who is well disciplined in multiple areas. So it's not a jack of all trades. It's not a Renaissance man or woman. It is literally Proverbs 31. A woman that can take care of family, take care of business, and look out for the community, and also serve God. So thank you for being a part of the Dr. Nahshon Nicks Show.
Thank you.
Listen, everyone, as I always say, knowledge is power. Knowledge of self is powerful, but knowledge of God is the source of all power. Thank you for staying tapped in, tuned in, and leaned into the Dr. Nahshon Nicks Show. I love you, and God bless you.